Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dialed In. It's the brand new NFL podcast that you can call in and be a part of. If you'd like to be a part of the show, all you need to do is click that link in the chat and it'll bring you right up here with Michael and myself. And you never know, you might become a part of the show just like John over at Firestarter Breaks. So,
Woo, woo.
without further ado, I want to introduce my co-host Michael over there at Huddle Card Collection. How you doing, brother?
Great, man. How's everything going, Anthony?
Can't complain, man. Another great week outside of the horrific loss we had to the 40-year-old Joe Flacco this past week. That was a hurt piece.
That one surprised me, man. That one surprised me. I was not expecting that.
The only solace I have is that it was like a middle of the week game. I was dead tired from work and I passed out when we were still ahead. I woke up, the game was over, and I hear them talking about the Bengals winning. I'm like, what happened?
Huh?
Like, so yeah, I ended up watching the highlights and then just being like totally depressed by it. So it was not fun. So that leads me to believe I didn't have the greatest of weeks because I picked the Steelers to win.
You did all right, man.
Well, that's good. That's nice to hear.
You did all right.
Have you heard any updates on what's going on with Justin Fields over there in Jets land? Are they going to give him another shot, or are they going with Taylor this week?
You know, there's really hasn't been a lot of talk about it. It's I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know how you could go back to him, but to be honest with you, um, we had drafted, what's his name? Brady Cook. Now I don't know where Brady Cook is from. I know nothing about Brady Cook. I know we drafted Brady Cook,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, it's one of those things where you know, don't go to Tyrone Taylor. If you're gonna go, you go to Cook to see what he has, because from everything that I've been reading, from some of the, like the analysts and stuff, and I'm not talking about, you know, the ESPN guys or those guys. I'm talking about, like guys on like U Stadium on X and stuff like that, guys that are, deep into that Jet stuff, or even like, uh, you know, Green Bean, who's a Jet guy, Jet Nation, those guys on X and everything, they're all saying that one of the things they believe is going on is that the offensive coordinator, who, if I remember correctly, did come from Detroit with Aaron Glenn,
Mm-hmm.
look at what the kind of quarterback that and supposedly he was the quarterback's coach. Look at the quarterback he had, Jared Goff, right?
Mm-hmm.
A look up more of a traditional, pocket passer. So he's been there for that long. That is what he has been seeing. That is what he's been working with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you throw on this hand, you throw Justin Fields, not a pocket passer guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to marry him up and you can't. You have you know what I'm saying? So if you bring in Taylor, all right, Taylor might be a little more of a pocket guy than Fields, but he's not that much different. Where people are saying that Cook is more of a, you know, traditional pocket passer guy. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, look, you know, I,
Might be nice to see what you have in Cook too, because the NFL kind of knows what you have in Taylor already.
exactly. You think from that standpoint of the defense that they would face will basically act the same way in the beginning, no matter which guy you throw, right? Even if you were to throw Cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to throw Cook out there, you're going. I don't know if he's a sixth rounder or a fifth or a seventh round. I don't. He could have been a UDFA for all I know. I mean, I don't know, right? But But from a standpoint but from a standpoint of the defense is going to go crazy anyway, you might as well throw him out there. Because at this point, the truth of the matter is this: if you if they're only going to win one game, my only hope is that it is not to the Miami Dolphins. That they don't beat the Miami Dolphins, because if you beat the Miami Dolphins in some way, shape, form, you both end up with the same record with the
Mhm.
Jets luck. Miami will get the higher draft pick, which means Miami can get the number one pick versus
Yeah.
the Jets. Now the bad part is from everything that I'm reading with this draft class, there's no Caleb Williams, there's no Jaden Daniels, there's no CJ Stroud, a guy that people think is really truly a franchise quarterback, with the exception of Arch Manning, which people think he can be, but he hasn't really proved it yet.
Yeah.
But we don't even know if he's going to, we don't know if he's going to come out. I think we talked about this before, maybe not on this show, but maybe even on Collecting Profit, is that NIL has drastically changed things.
Yeah. Really has.
Because think about it, right? If you're Arch Manning and people are still, as long as he doesn't go ahead and, throw 20 interceptions and 4 touchdowns, right?
Hmm.
It- people are going to look at him and go, you know what? He'll be a better pro than he will be in college. Well, Arch Manning is sitting there. He's going, you know what? I got a year of eligibility. Ooh, the New York Jets have the number one pick. Yeah, nah. I'll go ahead and, I'll stay another year and get paid what, $4 or $5 million,
Makes sense.
right? Like, why bother going pro when you don't have to? Because you're already getting a bunch of money.
For sure. I mean, look at the gap in some other sports. Like if you go in the WNBA, you make like 77 grand a year. You go from making like billions, some of them, in like NIL money.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. Where's the incentive for these athletes to want to come and go to the big leagues? To go to the pros. It really is nowhere to be found. It really, when you if you sit back and you peel back the onion,
Hmm.
there's really no need for it,
Hmm.
especially in the women's sports. Right, to
Oh,
your
yeah,
point,
sure.
Caitlin Clark took a massive pay cut probably to go to the WNBA. Now,
Yep.
I know the WNBA is trying to do their whole thing with, maybe going on strike and stuff like that and everything, to go ahead and force, bigger payments, but stuff like that. John just got home. He should be on. He should be
Oh,
jumping on in a few minutes.
sweet.
You know.
We'll wait for him before we get into any of our predictions or any of that stuff,
Yep.
or the big battle against the all-time Green Bay Packers. I don't know if I shared the list that ChatGPT picked this week, but they picked a really tough, really tough team. So
Yeah.
we'll have to get creative.
So just see Justin Fields bench with Tua. Dolphins toss Quinn Ewers in a bath of hot water. I didn't realize Quinn got in the game. Does Darnold take Seattle to the playoffs? Why
I
not?
think.
He took Minnesota to the playoffs.
Mhm.
I
I
mean,
think the Seattle team's surreal. Not just because they beat the Steelers. I think that they're a tough team. Plus, JSN is literally breaking out like a superstar this year.
and they have a nice tandem of running backs. From that standpoint, so that they're going to be a good team. I mean, their division is. I mean, San Francisco doing what they did to Atlanta. I mean, that San Francisco is what missing. They're missing top wide receivers. They're missing their starting quarterback, but maybe you know maybe just maybe, and I don't. I mean, Not 100% sure, but man, maybe Kyle Shanahan is the quarterback whisperer. Maybe Kyle Shanahan could go ahead and make any quarterback because you look at what he did, man. You look at what he did with Purdy, Mr.
Yep.
Irrelevant,
Yep.
and now you're talking about a guy who was basically thrown to the side,
Mm-hmm.
and Mac Jones.
Yep. Yeah, he has a lot of talent working with quarterbacks. That's for sure. Wish the Steelers could develop some young quarterbacks like that, but hopefully Aaron Rodgers continues to find this fountain of youth because now both quarterbacks for the Steelers last year are on the bench, and Rodgers is still looking pretty good, minus the loss. But I kind of blame that more so on the defense because he put up 31 points. Can't really ask for much more. I think he put up 4 touchdowns or something like that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, speaking of the old quarterbacks, news of Russell Wilson and what's the guy, Sean Payton from the Broncos. After the game, he said something to the effect that they were really hoping that they would have played against Russell Wilson as opposed to Jackson Dart because Jackson Dart's like a much more dynamic player or whatnot. So he was kind of saying Dart was good while saying Wilson's kind of not good. He was also the guy that was with Russ in Denver for a while. So he's throwing shade on him. And then I guess Russ came out on Twitter or X and said that he had no class and he's still headhunting people like 15 years later. So he was talking about how he was in that big scandal where he was basically putting hits out on other players and stuff like that. So he basically put the spin on it, like more so like I'm not trash. You just were trying to like take me out type thing. So I thought that was kind of a interesting public beef.
I don't, and the funny thing is I don't find that surprising. With Russ, to be honest with you,
You get it?
I mean, I really don't. But what I don't understand is why, why, what's the what, why did Sean have to say what he said?
I guess just throw shit at him for the most part. You know what I mean? Like take a shot at him while he's down. He's now a backup. It's probably low point. Just trying to make him feel a little lower.
I mean, Peyton's not wrong, but you shouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Peyton is not wrong in what he's saying. Look, I mean, Russ is trash.
Yeah, he.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Russ is not,
Although I'm sure there's
Russ
still
is not a good football player right now.
I'm sure there's still probably some teams that are like, I'd still give Russ a shot. You know what I mean? Like, what teams out there do you think like legitimately would still potentially trade for him at the deadline because they have an injury, or even potentially want to sign him in the off season? Is there like a final destination for him beyond the New York Giants? Or is this his last starting gig, minus like kind of what Joe Flacco's doing right now, where he's taking over for Burrow with the intention of Burrow picking up at the end of the year? I can see Oakland taking a flyer on him, personally.
But would they have to? I mean, they would have to. They would really have to.
He pointed him. That would make sense.
I mean, technically, you're what 0-7. I mean, does Wilson actually help you?
No.
Hey, Maddie.
No.
Doesn't hurt you. He's a pocket passer.
Hey, but he just, I mean,
I think he's done that.
He took over the
Russ
field last year and did okay.
Russ hurts them in the long run because he's not the future. And at this point, we are 0-7. Why should we win any games?
True.
That's a good point.
Very true.
Right now, truth of the matter is that, like you're saying, there's really no, from everything that I've been reading, because again, when you realize, wow, we're almost halfway through the season, or and here we are, we're already making plans to figure out who we're going to draft number 1 overall. There's no franchise type quarterback. People are talking about the kid from Indiana. What is his name? Mendoza, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about the kid from Alabama. Shipley, that might be his last name. But neither one of those guys are a guy you're going to say, hey, we're going to take this guy and we are going to, hitch our franchise to him for the next, 8 to 10 years. Or, or if you think you're getting a franchise guy.
According to the latest CBS mock draft, they have your New York Jets drafting Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people believe that that is what they will do, that he is he's probably one of the more ready guys out there. To me, if you knew Arch Manning was going to come out, I don't care how bad he plays. If he was willing to come to New York, I'd take a shot with him. At least he has the pedigree and everything. And you go, wow, that guy could be our franchise. Look what his uncles did. Look what his grandfather did. I don't know about these other guys and everything. And they could be, I mean, a Mendoza could come in, and be really good.
Yeah.
So like I said, at this point, to be honest with you, it's like, you look at the schedule and you go, oh, okay. Man, there are like 2 games that they might be able to win. Crap.
Yeah. But CBS Sports also goes on to predict it. Pick number 13. John's Washington Commanders are going to select David Bailey, who's an edge rusher out of Texas Tech. And then out.
Wait a minute, 13, so they're not making the playoffs?
I guess not. Then they're saying the Steelers are picking at 16, and they're going with Carnell Tate out of Ohio State, which would be a good wide receiver. I don't hate that. If Rodgers was going to come back, I would say that's a decent move if you don't pick up another receiver. But let me see how many quarterbacks are off the board by the time they pick. 2 quarterbacks are off the board by the time they pick. Aren't there going to be like 4 quarterbacks in the first round?
So what is Mendoza and Shipley?
It says Dante Moore goes number 5 overall to Oakland.
Oh, he's a guy from Oregon?
Yeah.
Well, see, but here's the crazy thing, right?
Ty Simpson, Alabama went 1 pick before the Steelers. That's where another quarterback went. So 3 quarterbacks went before them. So it might make sense to not take a quarterback there then in that case.
So that kid is from the kid you just mentioned, the one that went 5. Who did he to Oakland? Is that the kid from Oregon?
Yes.
So, not saying that he shouldn't get it. He's a sophomore. That means he's probably a redshirt sophomore.
He is.
Okay. All right. So redshirt sophomore. He didn't play. He actually missed last year because he played in 2023. Threw 213 passes for 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
This year, he's thrown 188 passes, more yardage, 1,686, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. See, that's my only issue is you're going to take and that was with UCLA. So he went to UCLA in 2023, came to Oregon, must have gotten hurt because they redshirted him. He only threw 8 passes, so that means he maybe played a quarter of a game.
Yeah.
And then he has this year. So again, you're gonna a 2-year quarterback, and it's not like he has lit it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be real interesting to see how he pans out, especially going potentially in the top 5.
You know, and what are they going to do? I mean, you got to believe that Pete Carroll is a short term. I mean, the guy's what, 70 something years old?
Yeah. At that age, you can't really be a long-term solution.
Right. You know?
It's only got so many years left to live, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so last week, Michael, how did we end up doing?
So Chat GPT went 10-5.
Were they the winner of the week?
They were not.
Nice.
John, after having a great week 6, went back to the crapper and was 7-8. And both you and I, Anthony, were 10-6. I'm 10-5.
Nice.
So after 8 weeks, Anthony 70-37, Michael 64-43, John 56-51.
Still above 500.
Still above 500. That's all that matters. Nice. I think ChatGPT has the potential to have a really crappy week, looking at some of their picks, but
Good.
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe they know something we don't. Like the fact that CeeDee Lamb was going to play this past week, because I probably would have picked Dallas last week.
Yeah.
They friggin' looked good, man.
Yeah.
You guys,
they looked good.
But we also didn't have any of our freaking wide receivers.
Yeah. You went into a gunfight with a knife.
Yeah.
100%.
Atlanta, I mean, after what Atlanta did the week before to Buffalo,
to
then do what they did against San Francisco. And San Francisco, man, I tell you, that Robert Saleh guy, I know he can't be a head coach. He sucked. I mean, but man, is he one hell of a defensive coordinator, because he had that defense playing unbelievably. He may be one of those guys that is, you know what, Robert, you have the potential to be like the highest paid defensive coordinator in football. Stay there. No need for you to become a head coach again. Why don't you go ahead, and deal with all that crap and everything?
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, when you look at last week and stuff, I mean, I don't, surprises. I mean, obviously, in the Icy Hot Bowl, I never expected. Well, I didn't expect it to be close to begin with, but then when I was watching it and I saw Pittsburgh score and how wide open Frymouth was and how much time they left, I was like, man, with those wide receivers and even though it's Joe Flacco who knows how to play quarterback, I was like, man, you might have given him a little too much time.
Dude, Flacco's been a thorn in our side for years, man. Ever since he was a Raven, a freaking Brown, now a Bengal. Can't get rid of this guy. Like, didn't he retire once and come back?
He was a Jet.
Ugh.
Joe Flacco was a Jet.
I've seen this thing on Facebook. It was like a meme. Like he's now completing the rainbow, like you do with cards of every single color. He's doing that with NFL jerseys. It's crazy. He's been with so many different teams at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you guys want to battle the all-time Packers now, or do you want to pick teams for next week?
Let's battle. I'm interested in seeing who they picked for their team.
Yeah. They got a pretty stout team this week.
The hardest one I've been trying to figure out is running back.
I actually kind of already have an idea at running back. There are two guys that immediately came to my mind. But let me show you who they have first.
They picked Amon Green.
No, they didn't actually. That was one of the guys I was thinking was Amon Green or the guy they have now, Josh Jacobs, who's like lighting up the NFL.
Yeah, I think our best bet would be to take. They took Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they took Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, Jim Taylor at running back, Don Hudson at wide receiver, Paul Kaufman at tight end, Forrest Gregg at offensive line, Mason
Pretty damn good
kicker, Reggie White at defensive end, Henry Jordan defensive tackle, Clay Matthews at outside linebacker, Ray Nitschke at inside linebacker, Herb Hurley at cornerback, and Willie Wood at safety. So I have a few ideas that came right to mind on this team. Quarterback, obviously, there's 3 like Hall of Fame quarterbacks that come to your mind when you think of the Packers. It's obviously Rodgers, who they have, Brett Favre, and Bart Starr. Favre's kind of a gunslinger. I know in past things he's kind of lost to like a Rodgers type player. But I mean, who's better between him and Starr? Starr, I think, has more championships, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but how a Starr as a passer?
It was a completely different generation. You know what I mean? It was like running type game whenever Starr played. So maybe Favre would be the way to go because he was known as the gunslinger.
Right. That's what I'm thinking from that standpoint. Would you be better off having a Brett Favre who a little more mobile, can throw the ball around versus a Bart Starr?
I mean, honestly, I like Brett Favre better anyway, so I'd be down for that. He is more of one.
Yeah,
I agree. Something about Mary. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I spelled it Favre. It's Favre.
Favre. You spell it like fava beans.
So again, a running back. We had that dilemma. Like I said, I was thinking Amon Green or potentially Josh Jacobs, who they have now. Any other running backs you guys think should be in consideration?
I mean, Amon Green was actually. I mean, that was the first name. That's the guy that I thought they would take.
I'm surprised they didn't too. Although Jim Taylor's like probably a little older, he might have been the guy whenever Bart Starr was there, for all I know. So maybe that's why they picked him.
Didn't they have somebody? I would go. I might go Josh Jacobs. To be honest with you, well, I don't know. I don't know how they're looking at it. I mean, I'm just trying to think what other wide receivers are there.
A wide receiver, or are you talking
about? Running back. Sorry.
Let's look it up.
All-time Packers. See, they have Bart Starr as number 1 all-time. Oh yeah, Jim Taylor was number 2. Wow, they got holy cow. Don Hudson was number 4. You see a picture of Don Hudson, his black and white leather helmet.
Yeah, these are all old boys, man.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they must play.
Every pictures are black and white. And then when you get to the airport, when you get to the more colored pictures, it's like those are the guys that they've already picked.
Trying to add Johnny back in.
And who?
I'm trying to add John back in.
Oh wait, he was just there.
There we go.
Why the heck does it keep booting him? There he is. Cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking we have to go with the current guy of Josh Jacobs. I don't even know. I'm looking at a list on NFL's thing in all-time Packers. He's the only Jim Taylor's the only list player they have listed out of the top 25.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a list like Ryan
Oh,
Grant,
so
James Starks, Ed Lacey,
I forgot about Eddie Lacy.
John Brockington, Tony Candio, and Clark Hinkle.
Yeah, I think Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I would say Josh Jacobs as well.
So wide receiver, I had a few thoughts there. I was thinking old school Sterling Sharp, but he also had his career cut short. I don't know how they factor that in. New school, you would think Rogers guy Jordy Nelson or his other guy Devontae Adams.
That's what I was thinking. Devontae Adams.
Devontae's kind of like a game changer in my opinion.
Yeah, the only other guy I think you could throw in there might be James Lofton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I think Adams would be better. Devontae Adams, I think, would work better with Brett Favre.
is it DA Vontae or DE Vontae? You know,
give me 1 second here. Oops. Davante.
cool.
And they had Donald Driver, but he didn't have really good stats. So
The driver was pretty good back in the day. Jennings was pretty good for them too. Greg Jennings.
Yeah.
Tight end, I was thinking maybe like a Bubba Franks or like a Mark Chamora. I don't know who else they really had. Those are just two guys I remember whenever I was growing up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I would think maybe a Chamora. He reminds me. I mean,
That's like Favre's tight end too. So maybe
Yeah.
there's energy there.
something I can think of.
Yeah.
Offensive line, they have Forrest Gregg.
Jerry Kramer, Jim Ringo, or Chad Clifton are the three behind Forrest. Jerry Kramer, dominant guard for the Packers in the 60s and a member of the 1960s All-Decade team. Jim Ringo was a
Graham. Jimmy Graham was there?
The tight end?
So that's the only Jimmy Graham I could think of, right?
I know he played for
what? I'm on the wrong one.
He played for what? Didn't he play there recently? Maybe like after he was.
I don't know.
Defensive tackle, right?
Jimmy Graham would be a decent option.
No, wasn't Jimmy Graham a tight end?
That's what I was thinking. Jimmy Graham, the tight end.
That's the Jimmy Graham I was thinking of.
I'm sorry, I'm a little off today.
Were there more than one?
Mark Chamura.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we currently have is Mark Chamura.
I really think he's got to be. I mean, Chamura is the only other guy that was halfway decent.
Yeah, 2018 to 2019, Jimmy Graham played for them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, looking at this list, there really isn't. And Clint Didier.
That actually is a pretty good sleeper pick there in the Jimmy Graham. Just because he's a good pass catching option.
I mean, I have no problem putting him out there.
What do you think between him and Chamora? Who do you think gives us a better chance of winning?
Let's see.
I think Jimmy Graham overall probably a better offensive player than Mark Chamora. I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
I mean, just from what I remember. Now the stats could say something else because, I mean, I wouldn't get to watch those two guys that often.
I guess if we have a gunslinger, we probably want the tight end that looks more like a receiver in Jimmy Graham. So I think that's probably a pretty solid call there by Matty Ice. He might have just helped us potentially win a game here, especially whenever we come up against a good team like this.
Yeah.
That defense is just like nasty.
That's right. We got
We got stuff.
we'll have a couple.
Who are we thinking? Jerry Kramer? Is that who you were saying?
He's the one.
Yeah.
He's the second behind Forrest Gregg.
Then I would
But
go.
I noticed Bob Skoronski was a member of the '60s dynasty for the Packers. I don't know if they had a dynasty, but so.
One of like the current guys that it gave me was Chad Clifton, but I think he's retired now too.
Yeah, he retired. It looked like 2011.
It's like Kramer and them though, right?
I think Kramer would be the one to go with there.
And kicker, they have Mason Crosby.
God,
For offense. Oh yeah, we'll go with Kramer. I was just thinking Aaron Rodgers guy that he loved forever, Bakatari, whatever his name was. But
yeah, he was pretty good too.
But Kramer's probably a good pick.
So for kickers, behind Crosby was Ryan Longwell and Chester Marcole.
Longwell's good, right?
I would go with Longwell.
He had an 82.2% kicker.
The defense.
Hey Dom, how you doing, buddy?
They took Reggie White.
What's up, Dommy?
Didn't they have like some other players that came into play, like defensive line that like were on other teams that were kind of splashy?
Let's see here. So this is a defensive end.
Yeah, defensive end.
Charles Woodson's not a bad one.
Charles Woodson
would be great for cornerback. Back, let's just throw him on the list. Are we going to find anybody better than Charles Woodson?
Nope.
Technically, he'd be safety too, depending on how desperate we get at the safety position.
I got Leroy Butler for safety.
I was thinking Leroy Butler as well.
Yeah. Defenseman Cullen Jenkins, Ryan Pickett.
For defensive end or for defensive tackle, where are you at right now?
Mike Daniel. Defensive end. Yeah, Cullen Jenkins was a defensive end, so was Ryan Pickett. Wow. There's not much here.
You know that Jerry Kramer that we picked?
Yeah.
He also from time to time was the place kicker for the Packers.
Nice. Maybe he'll get a
defensive end. I don't know.
Willie Davis, he played for him as defensive end. I don't know
there you go. That's.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not really going to get much better than that at this point.
I don't think so.
I was thinking maybe Gilbert Brown at defensive tackle, either him or like
big boy.
But Gilbert Brown would stop the run.
Yeah, he would. I don't know how much his team is going to run, but he would.
Next, I don't really see anybody. I mean, you had Justin Harrell, B.J. Raji.
Well, their offense is mainly old players too, minus Rodgers. So they're
Montravius Adams. Any of you guys heard about him?
Nope.
I've heard of Montravius.
I mean, Raji I heard of, but I think the first name that you said was a good one.
So I'm thinking too. Do it, brother. Put it in there. Outside linebackers. Let's see who they bring up.
David Robinson.
To come around. I have a sleeper for inside linebacker. AJ Huff.
They have Clay Matthews.
They have Clay Matthews.
Their top ones they list as far as on Google is Rashawn Gary and Zadarius Smith.
Those are new guys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Clay Matthews is obviously the all-time sack leader. David Robinson, Hall of Famer and one of the team's 5 best outside linebackers.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw his name come up.
Oh, they had Kabir Baja Biamila. Remember him? He was decent.
I don't
Is he a
remember that name.
linebacker? He
I
was
do not remember the. I
isn't
do
he
not
the dude
remember
from
him.
American Ninja Warrior now? Oh no,
Oh,
that's
that
Akbar.
yeah,
Akbar's brother, yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say. Robinson, not a bad idea. I think you're right with AJ Hawk as inside.
Yeah, he'd probably be a good one. Who were you saying it outside, guys?
I think maybe David Robinson,
Yeah.
not the basketball player.
Not the basketball player. So Admiral David Robinson wouldn't work out.
And he might. You never know with this with Chat GPT. You never know.
All right, let's see how we fare.
All right.
We go ahead and run this through. What do you guys think is going to happen? We fare a
Lose
chance.
by 3.
You say win by 3?
Lose by 3 for some reason because you can't win by more than 3 or lose more than 3, obviously.
What do you think, Michael?
You understand, Dom.
I'm gonna say Dialed In's gonna win. I think Favre with Adams and Graham and Josh Jacob is going to be able to run in just enough, and Favre can move around in the pocket a little bit, buy a little time. We'll see. That's how I'm rolling.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we're going to win by 3 just because it seems to be the trend. But hopefully we will get a win here. See what ChatGPT thinks. All right, they're thinking. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and de-share this one. All right, here we go. The Green Bay Greatness Bowl. For Lambeau Field, it's 34 degrees, light snow flurries, perfect Wisconsin football. 81,000 screaming cheeseheads. The first quarter, ChatGPT teams wins the toss and starts with Aaron Rodgers under center. Rodgers opens up with precise 4 for 4. Quick passes to Kaufman and Hudson. Jim Taylor hammers the ball inside behind Forrest Gregg for an 11-yard first down. Rodgers takes a play action, finds Hudson on a streaking pass past Charles Woodson. Touchdown, 27-yard strike. 7-0, ChatGPT. Brett Favre comes out firing for Dialed In. His first throw, 22-yard bullet to Devontae Adams. Josh Jacobs, a modern addition, bulldozes up the middle twice. On 3rd and 6, Favre rolls right, lasers one to Jimmy Graham for 15 yards. Tied score, 7-7. Late in the quarter, Clay Matthews sacks Favre on 3rd, forcing a punt. Rodgers connects with Hudson twice more. Leroy Butler bats away a deep shot to end the quarter, 7-7. Second quarter, Rodgers leads a methodical drive. Taylor pounds for 6 yards a pop. Rodgers finds Kaufman on a slant for 18 yards. Second and goal, Rodgers hits Kaufman for a 6-yard touchdown, 14-7. Favre answers immediately. Quick strike to Devontae Adams, 12-yard hitch. Then a deep post, 48 yards. Jacob pounds inside on 3rd and 2. Favre fakes and flips to Graham in the flat. Touchdown again, 14-14. Defense tightens up. Reggie White sacks Favre. Willie Davis returns the favor on Rodgers with 52 seconds in the half. Rodgers hits Hudson twice, setting up a Mason Crosby 44-yard field goal. Halftime, ChatGPT is up 17-14. So here's the halftime stats. ChatGPT has a total of 212 yards. We have a total of 205. Looks like as far as passing, we're actually a little bit. Actually, yeah, they're behind. We're behind them on passing. We're ahead of them on rushing.
They're pretty much even.
Yeah. we actually had the time of possession because I guess we're running the ball more. Third quarter, Dowden starts with the ball. Josh Jacobs breaks loose for 23 yards, his best run yet. Favre hits Adams on a deep comeback. First and goal, Favre rolls left, but throws across his body, intercepted by Willie Wood.
The gunslinger.
Yep. Rodgers capitalizes a dart to Hudson for 19. Taylor pounds through Gilbert Brown's tackle for 8. Rodgers finds Kaufman again, this time up the seam. Touchdown. 24-14. Favre rallies the troops, finds Adams twice, hits Jimmy Graham for 14. Jacobs punches it in on a 2-yard drive. ChatGPT 24. Dowden 21. Late in the third, Reggie White demolishes Jerry Kramer, then forces a fumble. Recovered by Henry Jordan. Rodgers sets up Crosby with a 38-yard field goal as time expires. End of the third, 27-21, ChatGPT. Fourth quarter, Favre refuses to go down quietly, finds Adams again, now with 9 catches, 3rd and 12. Favre throws deep into double coverage. Somehow, Woodson mosses Adderley. Jacobs barrels into the end zone. 28-27. Rodgers looked calm as ever, hits Kaufman for 10. Scrambles, evading Davis, finds Hudson deep on a broken play, 52 yards. 2 plays later, Rodgers fakes the handoff, hits Hudson on a back shoulder fade. Touchdown, 34-28, 3:06 remaining.
We got him where we need him. We're down.
Yep. Down
6 with 3:06 left.
As Ford starts one last classic drive. Quick outs to Graham and Adams. 3rd and 4 complete to Jacobs in the flat. Clock running under 1 minute. 2nd and 8 from the 24. Favre goes for it.
No.
Tipped by Nitschke. Intercepted Adderley. Rodgers takes a knee, kneels it out as the snow swirls over Lambeau. Final score, ChatGPT 34, Dowden 28. And it's by more than 30.
Yeah, it's a 6-point one this time. Wow.
Here's the stats. Aaron Rodgers had 28 of 34 for 317 and 3 touchdowns. Jim Taylor had 84 yards. Don Hudson had 9 catches for 152 and 2 touchdowns. Paul Kaufman had 6 catches for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Crosby had 2 field goals, 4 extra points, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble for Reggie White. Clay Matthews had a sack and 7 tackles. Nitschke had 8 tackles, 1 pass defense. Adderley had that game-sealing interception. Willie Wood had an interception. Then on our side, Favre had 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jacobs had 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 10 catches, 138, a touchdown. Jimmy Graham had a nice game, 7 catches, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 extra points by Longwell, 1 sack Willie Davis, 5 tackles Gilbert Brown, 9 tackles A.J. Hawk, 1 interceptions, 4 pass defense by Charles Woodson, 6 tackles, 1 pass defense by Leroy Butler.
How did Favre have 2 touchdown passes, yet Devontae had 1 and Graham had 2?
Yeah, that makes no sense. We should have won.
Was there a quarterback sneak? Was there a sneak somewhere? Was there a fumble? Maybe it was a fumble recovery or something.
It makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there was literally
Graham run it instead of his 2. Maybe ran in.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work. Unless one of them was one of those shuffle passes and it counted as, like a run or something. I don't know. That is interesting.
But it would say it up above.
I'm going to ask that and see if Bart started to change anything.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm asking. That's a great what if. Cold and snowy again. First quarter, Star opens up, leaning on Jim Taylor, Forrest Greg's Did it give them? It gave them.
Hey, Lockin, how you doing?
Wait, scroll up a little bit for a minute.
Instead of us. So who wins?
Dialed in. Yeah, they put it on ChatGPT, Bart Starr.
ChatGPT won.
They
It
won.
was above the stats.
Yeah.
You scroll back up. Or keep going. Right there.
Oh, okay.
ChatGPT with Star was 28-21.
So they actually win by an extra point with him.
Yeah. But you got to put it for us.
Would.
Well, you can't do it now because if you say. Oh.
Give them back. We need stuff. See if that does anything for us. Did we choose wrong in going with Brett Favre? All right. The swap to legends. Let's do this. They got Rodgers back. We now have Star.
It got colder.
It did get colder. Rodgers opens hot, hits Hudson, 15 yards. The old meets the new. Then a perfect seam ball to Kaufman for 22. Flashes play action to Hudson in stride for 32. 7-0 ChatGPT. Star now leading the dialed-in roster comes out slower. Leans on Josh Jacobs behind Jerry Kramer. Jacobs pounds 28 yards on one drive. On third down, Reggie White collapses the pocket. Henry Jordan sacks Star, forcing a punt. Rodgers surgical again, moves the drive downfield using his legs, 3rd and 9. Next Jim Taylor bowls through for 4 yards, 14-0. Second quarter, Star adjusts beautifully. Classic mid-game adaptation. Uses quick flat routes to Jimmy Graham. Swing passes Jacobs, orchestrates 10-yard, capped by Jacobs punching it in, 14-7. Rodgers responds by testing Charles Woodson deep. Woodson nearly picks one, but Hudson breaks it up. Yes, the wide receiver broke up his own pick attempt. Mason drills a 46-yard field goal, 17-7. ChatGPT. Before halftime, Star strings together the best drive, 2-minute drill precision, hits Devontae Adams on a crosser for 25. Leroy Butler intercepts Rodgers' tip, only his mistake. Star capitalizes on a short touchdown to Jimmy Graham just before half, 17-17 tie.
Oh,
how do we get 17-17?
How did we get 10 points?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. I will take it. That's a 10-point touchdown, boys. I will take it.
That's that Green Bay math.
Yeah, 100%. Third quarter, Rodgers is locked in. Unfortunately, masterful read finds Taylor in the flat for 14. Then 28-yard dart to Kaufman up the seam. Play action fake hits Hudson again. 20-yard touchdown. 24-17. Star tries to answer, but Clay Matthew and Ray Nitschke blitz hard. Sacked on third. Forced the punt. Rodgers then threads the needle to Kaufman for a 10-yard score. 31-17. Down 2 scores. Star starts dinking and dunking again. Jacob churns 15 yards. Adams gets loose for 22. Then a 13-yard touchdown catch. That one's only worth 7, unfortunately. So we are down. In the final minutes, Rodgers drains the clock with precision. Hudson on curl routes. Taylor up the middle. 3rd and 5 with 1:08 left. Rodgers fires a dagger to Kaufman for 11. Crosby adds a field goal for insurance. The final is 34-24. So we lose by more with Star. So we made the better choice going.
That's a bunch of crap there running up the score, Brett Favre. You didn't need to put that field goal. Could have just ran the clock out.
Exactly.
What crap is that?
That was kind of a rude move. Yeah, but Star was not that good in the modern day.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Going into this week, what's up, Lockin? Good to see you, brother. What do you guys think's going to happen starting on Thursday?
All right, so Thursday night, with Minnesota Vikings traveling west to the Los Angeles Chargers, ChatGPT has selected the Los Angeles Chargers.
I have to agree there.
You're going Chargers.
Chargers, yep.
I think the Chargers also, not that I think Minnesota's bad. I just think short week, home team, I'm going to give them just that little bit of the advantage. Now, Minnesota, no, so Minnesota is coming off of a loss, right? Yeah, Minnesota lost to the Eagles the week before. All right, Anthony.
It's a tough one. I'm going with LA as well, though.
Homer.
Yeah, kind
of. Buffalo Bills, they travel south, go to Carolina to play the Panthers. ChatGPT selects Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is coming off a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Buffalo is going to win.
I'm also going to pick Buffalo just because I think that they need to come out and have a statement win. But every single time I pick against Carolina, it bites me. So that's the caveat. I still think the Bills are going to win, but I have a tendency of always losing the Carolina pick.
I take the Bills as well.
All right. Interesting game because we don't know about the quarterback situation. The Chicago Bears traveled to Baltimore to face the Ravens. ChatGPT has taken the Ravens.
Nah, this is a Bears game all day long.
Both of you are going Bears?
Yeah, man. I'm going with the Bears. They've been riding hot, and I hate the Ravens. So,
all right. Lockett says Lamar is out. So that changes my pick. I was going to take. I was going to take the Ravens. Lamar was playing. I was going to take the Ravens, but
yep.
Even the Cleveland Browns travel to Massachusetts to play the football team out of Gillette Stadium. The Chat GPT selects the football team from Massachusetts.
So does the Chat GPT me. Or I was going to say Chat GPT me. But yes, I also will take the team from Massachusetts. But again, this is another great opportunity to pick against the Browns.
I don't want to, but I'm going to go ahead and take the team from Massachusetts because I just don't know if Cleveland knows what the hell they're doing. Although that Judkins, whatever you say his last name, is it Judkins?
Judkins, yeah.
Man, he played pretty good.
Yep.
He played pretty good. I just think Drake May, really good draft pick.
Yep.
Johnny?
I'm going with the Pats.
All right. We are all the same. So the Miami Dolphins travel to Atlanta to play the Falcons.
Man, that's a tough one.
It is a very. It is a tough. It's tough because the way Atlanta has. Again, Atlanta got shut out like 30-0 or something like that, and then they came back and won by almost 30. Then they play well against the Bills, but then they go against the short-handed 49ers. Andy Dalton is starting? Crap.
Yeah, he says Bryce Young got hurt.
But I just think the turf for Atlanta, there's a lot of turmoil. Didn't Quinn Ewers come in to get thrown in the game at the end there?
I believe so.
Am I mistaken? Let me check the box score from last week. Yeah, Quinn came in. So, so obviously there's a little bit of an issue, there's something else. So I'm going to take Falcons.
I'm with you. I'm taking the Falcons as well. I just think that Miami is a mess right now. And until they show themselves to be functionable, I really just can't pick them.
John?
Falcons.
All right. The New York football.
Breaking news from Locke and Schefter. Tua is starting this Sunday for all of you fantasy owners.
The New York Giants.
That's awesome. He says coach's expectations weren't he won't throw 10 picks.
Yep. The New York Military Insects face the Philadelphia Eagles.
Gonna have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles over the Military Insects. I just think the Eagles are too tough. You know, I think even if both New York teams joined up, I still don't think they'd beat the Eagles.
I think Philadelphia showed something last week. Will they get stuff figured out? I don't know. I mean, their defense is pretty decent. You know, rookie running back, rookie quarterback. They're playing in Philly. I'll go with Philly.
I'm taking the Giants to upset them twice.
Oh, funny. Lamar hasn't returned to practice. Cincinnati Bengals are home against the New York Jets. I'm taking Cincinnati.
Unfortunately, I'm taking Cincinnati too.
Mike, I'm giving your team their first win of the year.
Thank you.
I'm taking the Jets.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right and we lose. Because that would be good for the Steelers.
San Francisco 49ers travel to Texas to play the Houston Texans. ChatGPT. Oh, they picked Cincinnati Bengals. But is the last game. ChatGPT has selected the San Francisco 49ers.
I honestly would probably roll with the Niners at this point too, man. They've kind of shown that it doesn't really matter who their quarterback is. Doesn't matter who their wide receiver is. You know, they're going to play defense and they're going to use Christian McCaffrey. And now the Kittle's getting healthy again. Like, you know, things are going to start to click for them. They're going to be a dangerous team.
Sean must not be here because he would be probably killing you in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sean.
You know, I don't know. I mean, oof. The CMC thing, the way he is starting to get, I mean, the last couple of weeks, he's starting to look more like 2024. I'm sorry, 2023 CMC, not 2024 CMC. I'm going to go San Francisco.
I'm riding with Houston.
You've now become
I
Sean's
shouldn't, but
favorite.
I'm going to try this time. I figure Stroud's got to have a breakout.
Here's one. Here's another interesting one. Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to New Orleans to play the Saints. ChatGPT has selected the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
GPT's on that good.
You're going with a long shot there.
Smash them, Saints.
Now, Mike Evans did get hurt again.
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters with playing the Saints. I'm going with the Buccaneers.
Same here.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the dollar corn. Dallas Cowboys go to the Mile High Stadium to play the Denver Broncos. ChatGPT says that the Denver Broncos are going to win the football game.
I have to agree.
I like Denver also. Anthony?
This is a really tough one because it could literally be either one of these teams. Dallas.
Well, typically, when two teams are going to play against each other, it could be either one.
Dallas has a tendency to choke it. But I'm going to go with Dallas, even though
it'd be crazy ass stuff if a third team showed up and win.
You never know. It could happen.
Hey, we're supposed to play this game, not you guys.
The Tennessee Titans travel to the Midwest They travel actually to Indiana to play the Indianapolis Colts.
I think Matty Ice's kingdom is about to crush them.
I agree. I can't see this. I can't even see this being a close game.
Yeah, no, that's the Colts all the way.
Yep. All right, boy. The next two are going to be interesting. The final two games. So our final Sunday game should be the Sunday night matchup. The Green Bay Packers travel to Ketchup City, formerly Heinz Field, to play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's gonna be a good game. You know who I'm gonna pick? Go Steelers.
You're going to take number 6?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Steelers. Although this could literally go either way. I think that Green Bay has a lot of things that could really be added for us as far as going into this game. But I definitely am going to pick the Steelers to bounce back after that horrid loss last week.
I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, I love you, Anthony, but I know you're going to pick the Chiefs in the Monday night game, so I got to pick the
Packers. I don't blame you, man.
I just don't think. I mean,
Monday night, the Washington Commanders, if they're not healthy, travel Kansas City, and I'm telling you right now, whatever change, whatever funk the Chiefs were in those first few games, Lawkins Chiefs, if I remember, I have this right. He's a Chiefs fan. His team has turned around. I'm going Patty Mahomes in the kingdom on Monday night.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. Unfortunately,
look who the Chiefs have played. Come on, they played the Raiders. Please, seriously, really? We're gonna have Terry back. We're gonna have Debo back. You're gonna have Jaden in there playing. It's gonna be the Skins. It's gonna be a close game, but in a high-scoring game. But we're gonna take it by 3.
All right. Oh, I forgot. So for Green Bay and Pittsburgh, ChatGPT selected Pittsburgh Steelers.
Go,
wow.
ChatGPT.
And for Washington, Kansas City, ChatGPT selected Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course.
So we have 6 teams off this week. So this is, we're actually short 3 games. Arizona, Detroit, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, LA Rams, and Seattle are all on the bye. You can have Monk, Gibbs, Sammy Baugh, and whoever you want back, and it ain't gonna save you.
Well, when you're crying next week, I'll understand.
Yeah, it'd be a tough one.
No, but to Lawkins' point, his statement, before he posted that one,
Yeah, I don't remember that. Yeah, it's.
When you look at the standings, Dolphins 1-6, Jets 0-7, Baltimore 1-5, Tennessee 1-6. I mean, there's a bunch of 2-5 teams. I mean, Saints 1-6, Cardinals 2-5. They were weird. I thought they were going to be a lot better this year. I'm surprised. The Cardinals have surprised me.
Here's a question. At what point do you think an NFL team decides they're going to tank?
Mike, I'll let you have that one.
Now. No, I don't know. I don't think it's tanking when it is tanking when you have a shitty quarterback room. I don't know how unless to me that means they planned on tanking over the summer. Like when they sat down and they went, okay, quarterbacks are available. We have Tyrod Taylor. We don't need Aaron Rodgers. Screw that old bastard. But that kid, Justin Fields, they did. Look, yeah, he wasn't successful in Chicago. Doesn't matter. He was doing really good in Pittsburgh, but then they took him out and put this old guy in there. Yeah, let's go with that guy. And let's give him a 2-year deal at like $20 million a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless they decided to tank then, but the problem you have, like, to me, what I want, Anthony, from a question is how do you tank unless you think about it, you would have to be happy with your coach to go ahead and tank, because if you try and tell him to go ahead and, hey, play all the rookies and don't worry about winning, I mean, then you almost kind of sort of you know, got to fire his ass at the end of the year, why, to pick something new. Like, you can't, if you're going to tank and you think, I mean, why are you tanking? Are you tanking because to just get, you know, I can understand maybe if you had a generational type player,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't. And if you look at the last bunch of draft picks, right, the last bunch of first round number 1 overall picks, how many of them have gone ahead and really, panned out? I mean, Caleb Williams, still the jury's still out on him.
Mm-hmm.
T-Law, every now and again you go, wow, oh wow, holy cow, and you go, oh yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then you got Burrow, who's like a stud, but he can't stay healthy at this point, which is, great for the Steelers, but bad for the NFL.
I mean, the way, like, you look at Cincinnati would be in a good position where you could say, hey, you know what? Let's say there was they have 2 good wide receivers. Let's say I doubt you'd take a running back number 1 overall. But let's say there was a stud, like a Micah Parsons type defensive end out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're Cincinnati. Unfortunately, you beat the Steelers, so you put yourself further up the chain. But if you're there, do you say, hey, Joe, you know what? Nah, man, we're going to let you rest the rest of the year because we want to try and get that defensive end that is, the next Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
We know we have the offense already. And the key is, don't forget, it's not that, you also get the 33rd pick. So you really get 2 good picks.
For sure.
But do you think teams really do that?
I'm sure.
No, I don't know if you can.
I mean, you can go out there and just be like, I don't want to play this, and do it that way. I mean, I don't think they're going out there purposely to lose the game. They want to win, but they have no morale.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, right? Look at baseball. You look at what the Astros did, right? Where they just like, hey, we're not signing any free agents. We're going to promote our minor league guys. We're not making trades. We're not doing any of that crap. We're going to have, a $500 payroll. We're going to give the guys, and part of their payroll is going to be they get free Frankfurt at the stadium. And we're going to do, and we're going to draft number 1 or number 2. And we're going to do, that. Like baseball, you can kind of put yourself in a position, but you'd have to do it in the off season, trade off all your assets and so on and so forth. Like what if, and no joke around. Yeah, I know we're talking about Jets, but like, what are you going to do? You're going to say, hey, guess what? Garrett Wilson, you're not going to play anymore. Jermaine Johnson, you're not going to play anymore. Quinnen Williams, you're not going to play anymore. Sauce, you're not playing anymore. Brees, you're not playing anymore. Like, that's the only way you could really almost guarantee it, right? You'd have to deactivate, all your good players. So
your Jets right now kind of remind me of the Dan Snyder era of the Redskins. They don't draft well. You don't really have any star players really that can help you out.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you could tank in football. I mean, I guess. Well, obviously, I shouldn't say that. It would have to be a methodical thing because you would literally have to try and trade your guys, and and the problem is right. How many times outside of draft day trades, or maybe in a trade just before draft day, how many times do you truly go ahead and get somebody to give you a first round pick for one of your guys?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it happens, but it doesn't happen that often. Like it'll happen during the off season, somewhat, right? Like if the Jets decide, hey, in the off season, we're going to trade Garrett Wilson. There's probably a pretty good chance they can pick up a first round pick for a guy like that.
We'll give you a second right now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
but then that would be the way you would tank, right? You'd trade him, but you'd have to, you'd have to set it up in the off season,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to go ahead and have it to where you'd only get picks the following year, because you wouldn't want picks this year.
Well, yeah, theoretically, like the whole reason to tank would be to try to get the first pick. So like if you're the Jets and you're 0-7, like what's the point of even trying to win? You know what I mean? Ride out like, your crappy quarterbacks, like no offense. And then, if there are players that you can get assets for, like major assets, like look to move them. But if you are looking to maybe get a quarterback or something like that in the draft, it's worth keeping probably Wilson around, just because he is your like main weapon. But I mean, it would make sense to try to piece off some of those other things. I'm sure the Steelers would even give you guys something for like a Breece Hall or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Hall's probably. I mean, when you look at that team, Hall is probably the guy that you could see going. But the truth is you figure out a way to if you have good players, you can't go ahead and trade them, because so if you trade Garrett Wilson, if you trade Breece Hall, you get the number 1 pick, and then you bring in Mendoza from Indianapolis. Who the hell is he going to throw to?
True.
Who's it going to turn around and see in the backfield to hand the ball off to?
The
So like that's
open tryouts for.
Yeah. Be like the youngest lot. Go to the penal code league and see who you can get. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you got. I mean, unless you had stupid ass cap space, and then you have a top wide receiver, a top running back that's going to be a free agent, right?
What is your cap space looking like over there in New York currently? Because you guys typically are pretty good at drawing in some free agents just because of the New York lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't. I'd have to check. I don't know offhand. What would that be?
I know ours is like 26 million or something. So they still have money. They want I'd love to see us to get rid of Lattimore. I can't stand him. He sucks. And we wouldn't get anything for him. So it's like.
So anything coming up on your guys' channel this week? I know you've got Collecting Profit tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir.
Anything else new and exciting with you guys?
All right, I might do a video tomorrow night. I'm going to grab a box of the 2025 baseball holiday, and see what it's like. Other than that,
what's up, Bob? Buddy.
So if you look at what might be projected as of right now, I'm assuming when they say the season of 2026 would be next year, I mean, Tennessee would be number 1. They have 123 million. Las Vegas has 115 million. The Chargers have 113 million. The Rams have 100 million. Washington has 97 million. The Jets have 92 million. So even at there, you have Washington, you have the Rams, you have the Chargers, who are probably more attractive teams for cap space, and they have more cap space. So basically, so it would be very, very difficult to say, hey, come play for the Jets,
and have another
or go live in Los Angeles and play for the Rams. You got an email from Topps that the tins are delayed until the 27th. Oh, well, that's
My LCS has the megas and the tins already, so I don't think.
Nice.
I mean, and I won't get the calendar this year because they sucked last year. Nothing really in them. I think I try mega.
I got them ordered. I ordered mine from either Fanatics or Topps.
I know Striker opened a box today.
Yeah, they have NBA Topps holiday,
and they're going. And when they get the NFL, they're going to do that too. They said.
Yeah,
that's cool. Do they have the license for NBA now, or is it still unlicensed?
I think they get that next year.
Okay. The NBA?
I think they get it next year.
No. The NBA they have this year because when you look at if you go on a Topps website and you go to Topps Holiday Basketball, they have the logos and everything on the jerseys.
Okay, maybe they did get this year. Maybe it's football they get next year.
I think football's next year.
So it's worth buying basketball for Topps again? Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Topps Holiday probably isn't that bad. Like, I don't know what you would do. I mean, I think, I don't know what they'll do, but to me, like the basketball could be a peppermint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that would be pretty cool.
Peppermint is a ball.
Yeah. Go to the Topps website. Okay, Dominic.
Man, you are a pushy bastard tonight.
Well, guys, we're going to get ready to wrap it down, but do me a favor if you would. Go and follow Michael at Huddle Card Collection. Follow Johnny down there at Firestarter Breaks. Come and subscribe to me here at Pittsburgh if you haven't already. I'll be putting out new videos this week of Disney World, where I just met my wife. And this upcoming weekend, I'm actually going to be preaching several times. We're doing a men's group on Saturday. Sunday, I'm preaching for the service. And then next Wednesday, I'm preaching at our Bible study. So I'll probably try to record and share those on here as well. I know it's not for everybody, but I mean, I bring a unique, twist on things that you wouldn't see in your standard church. So if you're even somewhat curious, I say take a look at one of them, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you.
Will do, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, appreciate you both being here. Till next week. God bless you guys.
Peace.
Hey, everybody.